Well, best-selling author Alex Segura, born and raised right here in Miami, returned home to promote his latest novel, Alter Ego. It's a labor of love that combines two of his passions, crime and comics. We talk with him to discuss the book and why Miami is such a great supporting character in crime stories. Alex Segura is this week's Person of Interest. It was a homecoming for best-selling author Alex Segura as he returned to Books and Books in Coral Gables to promote his new book, Alter Ego.
Thanks for reading this.
The murder mystery is a sequel to Segura's award-winning novel, Secret Identity. The main character in Alter Ego is a Cuban-American filmmaker named Annie, who gets the chance to make a comic based on her favorite childhood superhero, the legendary Lynx.
The core of Annie's story is, what is she willing to do to make sure that her story comes to life? And when she realizes, obviously it's wrapped in a bow of a murder mystery, so you've got those elements of like a thriller, but the big question is art versus commerce. Like, what am I willing to give up so I can have this come to life?
Born and raised in Miami, Segura went to Southwest High School. He also worked for the Miami Herald, where he got a first-hand glimpse of the type of crime that only happens in the 305.
Yeah, I think just Miami has that special recipe for stories, crime stories that go get a little weird, but also reading reporters like Edna Buchanan, like the Herald has such a great legacy of crime reporters and crime coverage. So being like kind of at the desk and seeing that stuff come in was really inspirational.
And you cannot beat Miami as a backdrop. The city has been its own character in Segura's work. His acclaimed Pete Fernandez novels, centered on a deeply flawed PI, were set here in South Florida.
And in Alter Ego, I needed a private eye. And so I used Pete, and my editor was like, you should use him some more. Like, it's cool that he's here. And so writing him again opened up a door that I think I wouldn't be opposed to writing him, as a novel again. Miami's paradise in many ways, but there's always the undercurrent of crime and, society, social change. And I think that duality, like this beautiful place with a dark undercurrent, is what informs a lot of my work, especially the crime stories, because you can live in paradise and you can still grapple with more dangerous elements.
Crime fiction authors like James Ellroy and Michael Connelly made a big impact on Segura and taught him that the character always comes first.
You have to have a compelling character. I mean, you can have the greatest, twistiest plot, but if the reader doesn't care about who they're reading, they're going to check out. And I think what makes Alter Ego interesting is that you have Annie. She's a single mom. She's a recovering alcoholic. She is a filmmaker. So you're bringing readers into a world they might not know intimately. Like the world of comics and film and media is, it's standard for a lot of people working in those industries, but to a regular reader, they don't know the nuance of like creating a comic book character or like what happens when it's optioned for film.
Segura is also a prolific comics writer. He's written stories featuring rock icons Kiss and the Ramones, along with superhero comics for DC and Marvel and Star Wars novels. But even when he's working in a galaxy far, far away, he still misses some of the comforts of home.
The weather, one of the hardest things for me adapting to New York was having basically a wardrobe for every season. And in Miami, just you have your clothes and the weather, the food. I miss the Cuban food. El Palacio de los Jugos, I really like, and Versailles. I miss the community. I miss I think there's just a vibe that doesn't exist anywhere else.
Thank you, Alex, and good luck with the book.